Welcome to the Danger Zone. It's Ashley. Everything in this video was found on a public domain, and the full disclaimers down below. Lots of love and many blessings your way. And the natural mystic journalist Jay and Peter, thank y'all so much. I need to give a correction on my last video. She was not arrested in New York. She was arrested in New Hampshire,
where she had been hiding out in a big old house in the woods.
The feds have been watching her for a while now, and we'll get back to her in a minute. It feels like to me that all of this legal stuff surrounding Meghan and Harry could possibly be some sort of a distraction. And in her most recent court papers, she focused on 14 points. She said she had no clue her friends were going to come out and give that interview to People magazine. Complete perjury, because if you remember correctly, following up that People magazine article, they came out saying they had her personal authority to interview those 5 friends. So what is she talking about? And now the excuse she used that her friends did give this interview was this: they were overly concerned about her mental stability, her well-being, considering she was so vulnerable at the time, in a fragile state. Whatever that means, because she wasn't pregnant. And that's my opinion. And then in this letter to her dad, she said she never once said that she was victimized. She didn't have to say it. The implication was very clear. Daddy, please leave me alone. You're harassing me through the media. Would that not make her a victim? And she finally admitted in these legal papers that she did pass this letter along to her dad through her manager. And I also feel like that's how she passed that money along to Doria. She felt completely unprotected by the royal family. How so? They hired $1 million of extra security on her behalf. She was also upset because she didn't give the authority to Kensington Palace to take a no-comment stance. She even pointed out that a lot of other royal members have their cake and eat it too, using Eugenie and Beatrice as examples. Another lie she told in these court papers was that her wedding, not Harry's, but hers, was not publicly funded. That's a lie. And that if it had been anyway, what's the harm? It brought in $1 billion worth of revenue on tourism. And my buddy Peter made an excellent point. He being Harry, could have married anybody, and it would have generated $1 billion worth of tourism revenue regardless. Yet she's taken all the credit for the $1 billion in tourism revenue. What a big old head she has. She claims that she reached out to her dad on several different occasions, trying to get him to come up there to walk her down the aisle. Heart attack or not, I'm sitting here telling you, in my honest opinion, he would have never been at her wedding regardless. That's not what would have looked good for her. You have to remember, a true narcissist is always the victim. Her final point in all of these legal documents, she said that Harry and Archie, neither one, have ever met her dad. There she goes again, poor Meghan. Poor Meghan. She's the one that controlled that. In fact, she said if it was up to her, her dad would never meet Archie. And lucky for him, there's not one to meet. And that's my opinion. And I totally believe that she's most definitely involved some way with Epstein. All that's going to come spilling out. Just like Justin Trudeau. He's in all this hot water. And now it's spilling out. The initial plan, so I've been told, was Justin Trudeau was to take Harry under his wing, politically speaking. He was trying to weasel Harry into office in Canada. They weren't banking on Canadians getting mad over the security bill. And when the Canadian people said they were not paying for it, which they ended up doing anyway, thank you to Justin, is when Harry and Meghan went with their plan B. Just like Harry, here's Justin taking a knee for Black Lives Matter. And here's Justin dressed up in blackface makeup. And it's since been told that he compared black people to apes. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? How does somebody go from wearing blackface makeup, comparing other people to apes, wearing Nazi uniforms, and to now be swinging full force for Black Lives Matter? You have to wonder what's in it for them. How does it now benefit them to say Black Lives Matter when they obviously never did? Black Lives Matter is heavily connected to George Soros, along with the Clinton Foundation and the Obamas. They're all wrapped in this together. In fact, there's a sick and twisted agenda associated with Black Lives Matter, and most people have no clue. Now, getting back to Ghislaine Maxwell and this Epstein stuff and what's about to come out, not only regarding Justin, but also Meghan and Harry. Little by little, it's been leaking out, just like this Amy McPherson, who had a romp with not just Justin, but Ben Mulroney also. She happens to be the sister-in-law to Sophie Trudeau, pictured here with Meghan, along with Jessica Mulroney. And this Amy McPherson has since said Justin is a part of a child sex trafficking ring, not only associated with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, but many people as well, including a lot of politicians, like the Clintons, the Obamas, and the Podesta brothers. And these are the same people pulling Harry and Meghan strings. They're all in this together, and sadly, a lot of innocent people have been dragged into it. It's all about to go down. Just sit back and watch. I'll see you soon, and we'll talk fast. Stay safe and be blessed.